Hi there and welcome back to another video. My name is Matthias and today we'll talk about tips and tricks on how to improve your underwater filmmaking. Coming up. It's the end of February and the weather here in Zurich has been simply fantastic over the last couple of days. It's sunny, it's warm, it seems like summer is just around the corner. So I thought it's the perfect time to talk about tips and tricks on how you can get the best possible footage when filming underwater. And that's exactly what we're doing today. I've been doing work as an underwater cinematographer for the past 6 years. So the tips that I'm about to share with you based on my own experience and how I've learned in the past to get better footage underwater. All these tips do apply to any kind of camera that you're using to shoot underwater. It doesn't matter whether it's a big cinema style rig or whether it is an action camera like a GoPro, a Paralens or whatever else there is on the market. So tip number one that I want to share with you is a very simple and basic one, but a very important one at the same time. And especially if you're filming with action cameras, with smaller systems, that's a tip that you really want to take serious, and it is staying shallow. Now, as you know, being a diver, the deeper down you go, the less light there is and the less colors there obviously is as well. So if you want to make sure that your underwater footage stays nice and colorful, just make sure that you stay quite shallow. Now, I mean anywhere between 5 to maybe 10 meters is the ideal depth to film underwater, because you still get enough light in there without having to bring a huge lighting system underwater and attach it to your camera, and you will still get the nice and vibrant colors that you're looking for. Tip number two is bringing lights with you underwater. Now, if you are going to go deeper than, let's say, the 10 meters that I mentioned before, you definitely want to bring some sort of a light source with you underwater. There's a lot of different options on what kind of lights that you can take with you, and do keep in mind that underwater you do need some quite powerful lights to be able to even bring a little bit of light back into your scene. Now, this can be useful when you're shooting wide angle underwater, so you can light up your foreground, and it can also be very useful, or it is actually essential, if you're shooting macro underwater. You do need some lights there, otherwise your footage will just look very flat and very boring, and there won't be much colors in your footage at all. Another option that you can do instead of bringing lights is attaching some filters onto your camera, onto your lens. Now, there's red filters that will bring some more reddish color back into your image, back into the pictures, and that can work quite well. Keep in mind, mostly these filters work anywhere between 5 and 15 to maybe 20 meters. If you're shallower than that, your footage is going to look too reddish, and if you're deeper than that, it won't really have much of an effect on your footage anymore. So they are limited in how you can use those filters. Tip number 3 that I've got for you today is to get as close as possible to whatever you're filming underwater. The closer you get, the less water will be in between your lens and the subject, and the clearer your image is going to be. This is a general rule that applies to filming underwater with any system. If you want to get the best possible footage, you need to minimize the amount of water in between your subject and the camera, thus getting as close as possible. Being close to your subject also makes it possible for you to tell the story in a completely different way, because it makes the footage look a lot more intimate and it seems like the viewer is in the middle of it rather than just being a bystander outside somewhere looking at the big picture. Tip number 4 is a very important one again, and it is to use a manual white balance whenever possible. Now, depending on what camera you're using and what underwater housing you're using to take your camera down, you will either have or you won't have the option to set a manual white balance while underwater. Now, if you do have that option, which most camera housings and cameras give you nowadays, I strongly recommend you use that and you use your white balance manually. You set that manually regularly during your dive. Now, every couple meters you go further down, the color changes or the light changes, and therefore the color as well. So you need to make sure that you adjust for that by setting that white balance manually. Now, this can be a little bit of a tedious process, but it is definitely worth it because you'll see a tremendous difference in your footage whether you just use auto white balance, which doesn't really work with most cameras underwater, or you set it manually and therefore get better colors straight out of the camera, which is also going to make your life much easier once you get back to the computer and back to editing that footage, trying to make it look the best way possible. And this brings us to tip number 5 already. Tip number 5 is know your camera. Know your camera inside out. And this is not really something new. This applies to normal shooting on land as well. But underwater it's even more important because you're in an environment that you're normally not used to being in. Your camera is in a housing. The buttons are sometimes a little bit confusing. And the better you know your camera, your menu, your settings and how to change them, the easier it's going to be in a stressful or maybe stressful situation underwater, trying to get the perfect shot, to actually set your camera to whatever you need to set it so you get that shot. So, know your camera. Tip number 6 when it comes to shooting better underwater footage is definitely to be working on your buoyancy skills. Now, your buoyancy is basically your ability to stay stationary in one place while diving, and we call that to hover in one place. And that is an essential skill when you're trying to take good underwater footage, especially video. As you know, in video it's essential that you can stay quite still for several seconds so you can get a nice and steady shot, and that is only possible if your buoyancy is good enough. And I've seen many people during my years being a diving instructor trying to dive with a camera right after they finish their open water course or even during their course, and I just think that that's not a very good idea because your buoyancy skills are just not there yet. Your footage will therefore look very shaky and you won't really be very happy with that. So my recommendation is spend some time, spend some training in getting your buoyancy skills up to scratch, and once that's done, then you can take a camera and you can go and shoot some proper, smooth, nice footage. And obviously good buoyancy will also help you to protect the environment and to be sure that you're not bumping into any corals with your fins, with your body, with your equipment. So you're protecting the environment at the same time, which is also a very important reason why you should be working on your buoyancy skills. Tip number 7 is to be aware of your shooting angle. Now, it happens very easily that when you're diving and you see something interesting just below you, to just point the camera downwards and take the shot that way. But these shots normally don't turn out to be very dynamic or very nice in any way. So you much rather want to try to get onto eye level with your subject or even below that and shoot slightly upwards to the surface. That will get you some light and some color in the background, and it will just make the composition of your shot a lot nicer. And last but not least, tip number 8 goes into the same direction as the one beforehand. Now, tip number 8 is not to chase anything while underwater. I know that it's tempting sometimes if you see a shark, a turtle, a pretty fish that you want to take a shot of, to just swim after it and chase it and try to get the shot that you want to. But trust me, I've tried many times and it's not the way this works. Now, as soon as you start chasing something underwater, what's going to happen is that the animal will swim away, will get scared, and you'll end up with some footage of a tail of a fish or a shark or whatever, and that's not really what you want to capture. Instead, try to stay calm, stay quiet, and just wait for the animal to approach you, to feel confident enough to approach you. And once that's the case, I'm sure you will be able to get some really cool shots that way. And there you go, those were my 8 tips on how to get the best possible footage underwater with whichever camera that you're using. As I said before, these tips are universally useful no matter what camera you're using underwater, and you can use them and incorporate them into your underwater shooting quite easily and increase the quality of your footage by quite a bit just by doing that. Now, if you do have any other questions, please feel free to put them down in the comment section, and I'll be more than happy to get back to you as quickly as I can. I'm also going to place some affiliate links down in the description, just in case you want to check out some of the things that we've talked about today that will increase your quality and help you get better footage underwater. If this video was helpful to you guys, if you got something out of it, then please do hit that like button. It does mean a lot to me. Also consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't yet, so you don't miss out on any content that will be uploaded here in the future. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next video.